When I heard that smart cover was no longer being destroyed when using a medkit with the Talent Combat Medic in the 1.3 patch, I also kinda assumed that the remaining issues with smart cover would be sorted out as well. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Now, I don't usually visit the Ubisoft forums, but I did today to actually check out the list of the known issues that are under investigation, just to see how many of the current issues that are still in the game are actually acknowledged and being worked on, and to my surprise, almost none of the bugs are noted down here, with the exception of the pulls not working 100% of the time. So it seems to me that the developers are either unaware of these issues or they simply haven't listed them. Either way, I decided to take it upon my own to make a list of all the current issues that still drive me nuts every time that I play this game, and with this I hope that in the next update all of these things will finally be resolved. That is what this video is going to be. It's going to be a list of the most annoying bugs and glitches that affect me every single day that I play this game. Now, just a heads up before everybody's going to comment down, these will not be any game-breaking glitches. It's not going to be a tutorial on how to get the most loot in the game. These will also not be all the bugs in the game. I'm pretty sure you could make a whole movie-length video if you counted the bugs with the collectibles, the map, the audio glitches, your character stats, with the loot itself. There's just too much to cover there, so I'm not even going to mention those. I'm only going to talk about the ones that affect gameplay and can literally be the difference between having a fun experience or dying with frustration because something like, for example, your survivor link did not work for the so many a time. So let's begin. Let's get through this list as quick as possible. Let's make sure that everybody knows about these bugs, and let's make sure that they can get fixed. Starting off with smart cover. Smart cover is destroyed if you instant cast it while aiming down sights with your weapon. This is only the case if you are out of cover, because when you're inside of cover, the character will apply to the cover as it is intended. Smart cover will destroy itself when a friendly sticky bomb explodes nearby. This is not just an issue with the flashbang, but it also happens with any other mod. It seems to be a bug and not an intended feature, because the smart cover is not destroyed when it is hit by an enemy sticky bomb, only the friendly ones, and this counts for a lot of the stuff with the smart cover actually. Smart cover will also be destroyed when it is hit by a friendly grenade. This can be a grenade of any type, shock, fire, EMP, disorient, it happens every single time. Again, only with friendly grenades. Enemy grenades do not destroy the smart cover. Smart cover can also be destroyed by shooting at the wall it is placed on. As soon as you shoot the wall, the smart cover will fall down and self-destruct. This can be done to friendly smart cover as well. Smart cover will also be destroyed if a nearby turret is manually disabled. Smart cover also destroys itself if you deploy it while doing a combat roll. Smart cover can also be destroyed if a teammate uses explosive ammo. Explosive ammo will also cause the smart cover to fall off the wall much quicker, even if there is no explosion. Smart cover does not apply the buffs to certain cover pieces. One example of this is this wall close to the pit, where even though I've placed smart cover down, the player does not benefit from the added damage and the added damage resistance. The first aid master mod does not proc if you use the first aid while doing a combat roll. You will still get the initial heal, but the heal will not remain in place for the added 5 seconds. The first aid's visual healing circle doesn't match the actual healing circle if you instant cast first aid while sprinting. This can cause teammates to seemingly enter or stand in the first aid radius without actually being healed. The first aid instant cast is not instant, and the first aid only activates when the small button that you press drops on the floor. This can cause a lot of trouble when using the first aid on inclines such as stairs, because the button keeps slowly rolling down and down and down, and thus the actual heal can be delayed for, I don't know, as much as 20 seconds. Also, while the first aid is still rolling down, players are locked out of using any other skills, and this can often result in the player dying. Sometimes the game will even randomly put the first aid heal somewhere else where you didn't even shoot it, simply because the game fails to calculate where you shot it in the first place. If you use the first aid just before you die, your character will get stuck in the animation while being down, and you will be unable to use the first aid or move your character, usually resulting in death. Shooting a first aid at the floor and then quickly using your signature skill will cause the signature skill to be on cooldown while not getting the intended effect. Overdose can trigger the talent Triage, even though the players being healed are already at full health or full overheal. Triage currently also reduces the cooldowns on all your consumables, meaning that you can use Triage to have a 100% uptime of explosive or fire bullets. The additional healing over time that the medkits provide on your own character also each proc Triage per tick. This means that even when you're running solo, you can have a 100% uptime of your skills or consumables through the use of Triage and medkits. The Reclaimer set allows you to use all the consumables at the same time by pressing all the hotkeys for them at the same time on the PC platform. It also gives the consumables to everybody in close proximity, meaning that you can play with 8 or even 12 players, and then everybody in that area will get the buffs. The Survivor Link signature skill does not work if your teammates are either on fire, shocked, or EMP'd the moment that you activate it. This is also the case with the Tactical Link, but the Recovery Link seems to work just fine. If you're running with multiple players and player 1 uses a Survivor Link and then player 2 uses another Survivor Link when the first one is about to run out, then everybody in the squad will lose the Survivor Link when the first one runs out except for the player that used the second one. This can cause players to visually have the Survivor Link effect while in reality still taking full damage. This is again also the case with the Tactical Link, but not with the Recovery Link. The Critical Save talent gives the players 40% damage reduction if he gets healed while on low health. The description of this talent says that it works for medkits only, but it actually works for any healing source in the game. Critical Save also procs with the heals after you have been revived regardless if you're on your last health bar or not. Much like the Survivor and the Tactical Link, the support station buffs such as the Immunizer and the Ammo Cache disappear if you have 2 support stations and one of them runs out. Players are required to exit the support station and then re-enter to benefit from the buff again. If they do not, they can still be put on fire and be shocked even while inside of an immune station. The Ammo Cache support station does not function properly in the underground with the waste not want not directive. A lot of the times it will actually give the player a negative amount of ammo, resulting in an empty clip as soon as you collect new ammo or reload inside of the support station. The candy bar consumable does not make you immune. Instead, it simply removes status effects as soon as they are applied, but this means that the status effects still work for a fraction of a second. If someone uses Predator's Mark on you while having eaten a candy bar, every bullet past the 10th one will reapply the bleed and will still prevent you from running, even though you should be immune. The Striker 4-piece bonus loses all of its stacks when swapping weapons. This is not just a visual bug, but actually also removes all the added bonus damage. The talent Battle Buddy doesn't give the 50% damage resistance to players on the receiving end if you already revived someone in the past 10 seconds. Now, next up I've got some things that my friend showed me regarding some of the other skills in the game, such as the ballistic shield and the mobile cover. I haven't had to deal with those myself, but they've informed me that these skills in particular are pretty unusable because of several other bugs. For example, the ballistic shield glitches out at certain times, which makes it so that the game thinks that the shield is out, while in reality you do not have it out. This glitch doesn't allow the player to reopen his shield, nor will any other skill work if you replace it with something else. Look at this turret for example, I cannot place it down. The grenades that player can throw will also not register during this glitch, and the bullet shot with any other weapons than your pistol will also not do any damage. Now, I'm thinking that this is all because the game still thinks that you're holding the shield, and the only way to get rid of this glitch is to wait for a certain amount of time, die, or log out with your character and log back in. This bug seems to occur under a few circumstances, such as reloading and sprinting at the same time while the shield is out, sprinting and performing a finishing melee move on a downed agent while the shield is out. But I've gotta say that we haven't really been able to figure out all of the things that trigger this bug, and none of these triggers are consistent, so to speak. It may very well be that what I just mentioned are none of the issues and that there's just one thing that causes it, but we haven't been able to find out what that is if that is the case. When players that are behind mobile cover are knocked back by, for example, a grenade, they have a chance to end up on the other side of the mobile cover when trying to re-enter it. Mobile cover sometimes doesn't register for the other players in your squad if the user throws it on a location that other players are currently standing. This means that while the user is able to take cover behind it, the other players in the squad will not see the shield and thus take full damage instead. And then last up, the talent Adrenaline heals the player for way more than it should if the additional medkit healing procs for a second time on the overheal health bar. And I guess that those are the issues with the game that I can currently think of and that my friends told me about, and that I deal with almost every time that I play this game. I mean, I'm sure I miss some. I'm sure that I would notice more if I were to actually play with the other skills as well, such as, the ballistic shield, the mobile cover, the seeker mine, all that stuff. I can only tell you things from my personal experience. Again, this video is not a sum up of all the bugs in the Division, trying to put it in a bad light. This is simply me being fed up with these problems and wanting to see the game work properly. A lot of these bugs have been part of the game for a very long time, and I have always assumed that they would eventually get fixed, although we are now in patch 1.3 and they're still present. So that is why I made this video. I tried to make it as fast and clear as possible. So again, hopefully the next patch we will not have to deal with these things anymore. As always, I will see you all later, or like they say, in the Netherlands. See you later.